The great drivers of the NASCAR racing fraternity are gunning their cars down Daytona Beach, Florida, in preparation for one of the South's biggest sports events, the Grand National Championship race for strictly stock cars. Marshall Teague in number 6, one-time winner of the race, and Mike Claypack in number 4 are top contenders in today's classic. 200 miles around a 4-mile course, which is half beach. Tension mounts during the time trials. Cars whiz down the beach at 100 to 110 miles an hour. This is how it looks to our cameraman from the inside, speeding along a measured mile. Jim Reed zooms along the smooth, hard-packed sand and past the flags marking the end of the mile. Time trials are over. This curve has been built up to bring the cars off the backstretch of the course, which is 2 miles up the beach and 2 miles back on a paved road, which is about 100 yards inland behind the sand dunes. The pits and the starting lines are on the beach. Here, feverish activity has begun in preparation for the race. Pat Kirkwood is on the pole today. He qualified fastest, driving his assembly line Chrysler at just under 111 miles an hour. Women are proud of their men. I bow to you, Sir Galahad, for your great feats of speed and daring. As a matter of fact, racing is quite often a family affair, as we shall see in the batter which follows.
This the famous team of the Plott brothers?
I guess you'd call us famous.
Well, that's what I hear. They tell me you're a pretty famous outfit.
Thank you, sir.
This is what?
Bob.
And
Tim.
And
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
That's right.
They tell me that this whole family of Plotts is a great bunch of racers and busy in all kinds of things that furnishes people with thrills. Is that right?
Well, we try to, yes, sir.
How long have you been in the racing business, Bonnie?
Since 1938.
And what have you been doing in that time?
Just racing stock cars, and I have race cars, but not very much.
I see. Well, didn't you win some titles in the NASCAR races?
In 1947, I won the NASCAR championship. In 48, I was second. 49, I won the championship again. And in 1951, I was second.
Well, you've done pretty well, I'd say, during that time.
Yes.
How about you, Bob?
I won a lot of racing, but no
championship.
No championship.
Well, you can't all win all the championships, I suppose.
Right.
How about you, Tim?
Well, I'm same as Bob. I've won an awful lot of races, but I never won the championship. I'm going to be at it this year, though.
Are you? Now, I want to ask you one other question. You said that your sister was a driver at one time, and another sister was a parachute jumper.
That's right.
What's your mother think about all this?
Well, my mother's got gray hair.
Well, I don't wonder. Well, I certainly would like to.
My mother's incident, and she's here.
Oh, she's here.
Here, Mom.
Oh, come in here, Mother.
That's right.
What do you think about all
Oh, I
this?
think they're wonderful. I
Do
do.
you?
Yeah, I just keep my fingers crossed.
The faithful followers of the great sport of racing are coming in droves. Some of them trying to get closer to listen to our interviews with today's most colorful drivers.
How are you? Okay, Tommy Thompson, the winner of the Detroit race last year, right?
Yes, thank you.
You're here for a pretty good job today, I understand, too.
Well, we hope to have some luck, Frank, but
What are you driving here?
Oh, this is a 52 Chrysler Saratoga, Frank.
I understand you've been driving Chryslers for some time.
Well, yes, I'm prejudiced. I think they're quite an automobile. I've used Chryslers for the past 2 years down here. In fact, they were the only Chrysler entered. Each of the last 2 years has been my car.
Did you win?
No, I did not win, but I was fortunate enough to finish last year. The first year I didn't.
Pretty good. Well, you've been in the racing business for some time, haven't you?
Yes, I started back in 1946, Frank. They built a track in Louisville, Kentucky, and we started fooling around with those midget race cars as a hobby.
I see.
And we fooled with those things for some 3 years, and then stock cars as such came into vogue, and we switched our activities over to stock cars.
You make a living at this?
No, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody as a source of livelihood.
Well, how do you make a living?
Well, I'm an engineer. I'm with a consulting engineering firm in Louisville, Kentucky.
I see.
And this is just a hobby. And
well, it's a great hobby, all right, and I hope you have lots of luck today, Tommy.
Fine, thanks very
much.
much.
Good to see you.
It's a pleasure.
So long.
Headlights are taped against flying sand and to avoid shattering glass. Motors are checked in last-minute tuning. The women who can only watch, wait and wonder, and get more excited as race time grows closer. But before the race gets underway, let's hear another interview.
You look like a character I've seen in the movies. Could that be right?
Why, yes. How are you, Frank, this
Joy
morning?
Ray, huh?
Fine, thank
Glad
you.
to see you, Joy.
Glad to know you.
What movie in?
Well, I played in a picture called To Please a Lady with Clark Gable and Barbara Stanwyck, and I played in The Big Wheel with Mickey Rooney,
I see.
and Ace in the Hole with Kirk Douglas, and Telegraph Hill.
Well, that's a pretty good list, I'd say. What are you doing here? Tell us what this is.
Well, we're going to try to run this Henry J. in the world's finest automobile classic. This is second to none. I don't bar even Indianapolis. This is really one of the greatest tests for an automobile, I believe, that there is.
And this is about the smallest automobile in the race, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right. It's only 161 cubic inches. Just a little wee fella, 100 inches long.
100 inches long.
That's right.
Well, you're not very long yourself. How long are you?
I'm only 5 feet 5 and weigh about 128 pounds is all.
How old are you?
I'm 40 years old.
40 years old. You keep at this game a long time, don't you?
Yes, I do. I've been at it 20 years, Frank.
Well, that's pretty good. Joey, I'd like for the folks to get a good look at you. This is Joey Ray. And good luck to you today, Joey.
Thank you very kindly, Frank.
20,000 spectators in all manner of dress and watching from all manner of vantage points are anxious for the roar of motors to start. Half fearful, half hopeful that they'll see the spills and crashes that are almost certain to happen. The 60 starters are in line now, ready for the 200-mile grind. 2 miles up the beach, 2 miles down the road, plus 1/10 of a mile for the turns at the ends of the course. A total of 4 1/10 miles a lap. This is the tense moment of the calm before the storm of the race. 48 roaring laps filled with danger. Down there on the beach. The road to the left is the back stretch of the course. The turn to the beach is in the left foreground. The starter gives the last signal. A bomb signals the start. They're all from a standing start, gunning their factory jobs for a fast pickup. It's a thrilling sight to see them start to spread out along the beach. Officials are on the alert for trouble. They're at full speed already. Pat Kirkwood in 99, Lloyd Moore in 59, Tommy Thompson in 40, Monty Flock in 14, and Herb Thomas in 92. They're battling for a quick advantage. They're leading to the back road. A car is skidding. Look at him roll over. It's Smokey Purser, an old-timer who raced the 30. This was his comeback race. Well, if he's okay, why doesn't he get out of the car? There he is. Says his arm hurts, and, well, no wonder. It's broken. The race goes on past the first accident, less than halfway around the first lap. The crowded field is still bunched up as they turn out into the backstretch. Oh, this is a thriller. There's barely room for passing on this narrow blacktop, and there are plenty of dangerous dips in the road. But pass they do in the last 2 miles of the lap, and one car's out of the race already. Herb Thomas in 92 has taken the lead in the battle of the backstretch. Number 2 starter Lloyd Moore has fallen behind after passing the pole winner, Pat Kirkwood. What's the matter, lady? That car's foot is up. How can he see to drive? Here they come into the south turn toward the beach. Herb Thomas in 52 in the lead, then Monty Flock in 14. Wow, that was a close one. Lloyd Moore in third now, and in fourth is Marshall Teague in number 6. Teague, who was last year's winner, started 13th. He's a 225-pounder and Daytona Beach's 30-year-old native son. He hires someone to run his service station because racing's really his business. Hey, there's the car with the hood up. It's L.C. Rigsby from nearby Orlando, Florida, and he's taking it easy. Herb Thomas is still ahead on the beach, but Teague is taking Monty Flock for second. Spectators watch them come into the north turn on the second lap. And there's trouble. That sand is treacherous. Lucky nobody got hurt that time. That's a mighty sharp turn from beach to road, and Teague's passing Herb Thomas hard for the lead. Teague goes ahead. Thomas is second. Flock is third. They're averaging around 85 miles an hour. They're just 8 miles or 2 laps from the start, and Teague in number 6 has moved up from 13th to 1st. Herb Thomas at 92 is still second, and Flock third. Lloyd Moore in 59, the number 2 starter, is back in 4th now, but still running ahead of pole winner Kirkwood. On the beach, Teague pulls away from Thomas. If either of them wins, it'll be a Teague car because both cars belong to Teague. As a matter of fact, he owns quite a stable of them. He's gained a lap on the field already. But Monty Flock is a tough contender in any race. In fact, almost any driver in this race is tough competition. It's still Teague, Thomas, and Flock on the turn. Now what? Another skid. And more cars keep plowing into this dangerous turn. There's passing as soon as they can pick up momentum on the backstretch. Teague seems to be trailing, but his number 6 is actually gaining a lap on another car. Herb Thomas at 92 is still crowding him close, in a position to resume the lead if anything happens to his teammate. Pat Kirkwood passes Monty Flock and whips to third place again with Lloyd Moore, number 59, a close fifth after 4 laps. Mike Claypack at number 4, one-time sportsman class champion, is now 6th. 16 miles from the start, Teague in 6th leads past the starting line, still followed by Thomas, Kirkwood, Flock, and Moore. This is a battle royal. Tommy Thompson gets the signal. He's running 7th. There's trouble in the pits. It's early in the race, too. Down the beach, Teague passes every straggler. These are stragglers, too, even though they might not look like it. Whizzing past terrific speed. But there's Teague at number 6 right after them. Teague likes the high road into the north turn. Look at there, another car's turning over. It's our friend Joey Ray. It's almost the same place that Purser upset in the first lap. That sand is rough and treacherous. This can happen to the best of them. Track officials rush to help Joey Ray, the movie stunt driver. The race goes on at high speed. Joey's out. He's not badly hurt, but he and his light car are out of the race. There he is in white, seems fairly calm, too. The ruts off the beach are tremendous, even for those skillful drivers. Joey's car is turned back on her feet again, but no more racing for her today. Imagine hitting that turn in sand at 60 miles an hour. What happened to Tim Flock, the second Flock brother in this race? Well, here he is at 91, but this doesn't seem to be his day. This race is against the tide, too. It's coming in now across the wide beach. It's the 8th lap. Go, Dick! Certainly doesn't seem to be Tim Flock's day, just like we said. Here he comes into the pits. The youngest of the racing flocks is having motor trouble and is out of the running. Well, there goes Party Flock in number 14, still in 4th place. Except for the wives, crewmen are the most anxious spectators of all, and not without reason. The sand has been too much for this fella, A.D. Yates, who started 12th. It's no wonder cars break down under this punishment. It's a wonder more don't, as they come out of the south turn to reach the hard, smooth beach. Marshall Teague just keeps rolling along. He's known this famous speed course ever since he was a boy, and he's wise to every trick the sand can play. That's not so with the rest, though. See what I mean? That fella's lucky to get his mount under control again. Teague never lets up, and he passes another. It looks easy when Teague does it, but this south turn from road to beach has spelled disaster for many a driver in former races. There goes one. That's really driving her. Number 22, that's Leon Sales, and he's been running well up there after starting 18th. Seems he's mighty slow getting out. There he is. He's okay, but he's pretty excited. Other drivers, unaware of what has happened, speed on past into the treacherous sand leading to the beach. Herb Thomas at 92 bounces along, still running 2nd. Some of the most expert drivers use this spot of all places to pass the laggards. Not that Pat Kirkwood at 99 is a laggard, he's still running 3rd. It's a beautiful and exciting day for cameraman, photographing Marshall Teague's smooth technique in the hazardous north turn and shooting the skidding and careening of others who haven't mastered the perils of the sand. The crowd is keyed up here in the north turn. Look at that pass. It's a thrill to watch the smooth performances of these beautiful late model cars just off the factory assembly lines. And folks, no special trick gadgets are allowed in these cars. You and I could do as well if we had the same courage and skill that we see in these drivers. Oh, look out there. Teague never seems to be in trouble. Still leading the pack with Herb Thomas at 92, not far behind. Pat Kirkwood manages to hang on to 3rd place, but Bonnie Flock at number 14 is pressing him hard. Up the beach goes a man in a hurry, and that's Marshall Teague, of course. Driving his number 6, he's showing why he's been able to win 4 consecutive major NASCAR races and 2 Grand National Championships. Not even Marshall Teague is safe with Bonnie Flock around. Kirkwood at 99 knows that Flock is after him, so he's trying to get clear of the crowd and pick up speed when he hits the beach. There goes Flock at number 14, passing on the turn and gunning his car through the sand that leads to the beach where he can take out for Kirkwood. And there goes Flock to pass Kirkwood and move into third place. The number 1 starter, Kirkwood at 99, has fallen back to and Flock holds the lead after 26 laps, just past the halfway mark of this 200-mile classic. The pace is still an average of around 85 miles an hour, which is terrific considering these rough turns. Flock needs gasoline, so he makes a quick pit stop, while there's still time to make up for lost seconds here. Spectators are trying to keep tab on the fast-moving race, and Kirkwood moves to third place again. But Flock has tarried a few seconds, and he's back in the race. Wet streaks are showing up on the beach as the tide moves in. Teague rides high away from the water, where the sand is hard and dry. The going's tough here. Another car stalls in the ruts of the north turn. That's a wide expanse of loose sand before getting to the clay-packed embankment that leads to the road on the backstretch. But the cars keep on coming, sometimes shifting gears, sometimes pressing on and high. Sometimes wheels come off or motors fail, leaving drivers stalled on the backstretch. Teague disclaims having any special technique, but it's obvious that he does little shifting in the turn. He goes into the straightaway in high gear. They've got their favorite spotted, and a wave of encouragement. That's good for the morale of any man, if he has time to look, that is. There's a fellow who needs a morale lift, and his car needs gasoline to carry it the rest of the 200 miles. The motor's ailing, too. This is time for frantic action and frustrating waiting for the driver. Tommy Thompson's had to stop for gas, too, but not for long. Drivers are getting a signal. The race has been cut to 150 miles. Why? Well, the tide is coming in fast, and officials don't want to run the risk of racing on too narrow a beach or having spectators' cars caught by the ocean after the race is over. Will this change racing strategy for Teague in 6 and Thomas in 92, who are leading 1-2? Teague hasn't stopped for gas yet. Can he make 150 miles in a tank full? Well, if he risks going the full distance and runs out of gas far from his pits, his risk may cost him the race. But he's keeping his eye on the gasoline gauge. Teague doesn't let up on his speed. He passes them as usual on the backstretch. Paul Pettit and Gober Sosby battle it out on the south turn, hoping to do better as the race nears its end. Teague refuses to slow down, but his pit crew is anxious to give him just a little more gasoline. Every driver is getting strategy advice from the pits now. Spectators know that any little thing can happen and affect the outcome of the race. For instance, a pit stop by Lloyd Moore, who started second. Tommy Thompson even has to stop for a new wheel. He has lost the left front one. Marshall Teague's crew is still trying to get him to stop for gasoline, but he goes right on past. Up the beach they go, heading for the dangerous north turn, which can still ruin the high hopes of the leading drivers. Teague seems to take the turn without a jolt. He's going to slot wide and high. That suits him well. Then into the backstretch. The crowd is always alert for something to happen here. And something does. That's a dangerous place to stall. Look out! He almost hit him. So 2 more drivers are out of the running. NASCAR officials wave flags to warn drivers away. Safety is an important factor in these races. Pat Kirkwood in 99 still might win if he gets a good break. Now what? Another car has lost a wheel. This time it's Buck McCardle who started 5th. The rough spot out of the turn is tough going without a wheel. Marshall Teague's crew is more worried than ever about gasoline. It isn't Teague, but his running mate Herb Thomas who heeds the signal. Now if Teague should fail to go the route without filling up, Herb Thomas still can win for the Teague stable. Herb Thomas guns it. His crewman's hand got caught, and Thomas slows down again. Go on, man. Go on. Passing continues on that ever-narrowing beach, and Marshall Teague in his number 6 keeps the lead with his almost empty gas tank. He's still taking that north turn with the greatest of ease. Other drivers hit the ruts, though. Hey, what a place to stall. Now the backstretch, Pat Kirkwood is doing his best to cut down the distance between him and the two leaders. Look out there! Bonnie Flock still in the running too, hoping for a break. He manages to pass Kirkwood again in the battle for third place. The crowd sees Bonnie skid, trying to make the north turn too fast. That's not the break he was hoping for, though. He's back in the race now, but it has cost him third place. The camera bug's busy, and he gets a car stalled. And with a close call for Bonnie Flock. Every second counts now. This is the next to last lap. A white flag signals one more lap to go. Marshall Teague still has gasoline. Is there enough for a lap or maybe more? Who knows? If not, running mate Herb Thomas is just behind him, and he has gas. Apparently safe in third is Pat Kirkwood at 99. The white flag for Bonnie Flock, too, still in fourth. Only a miracle can change things now, or maybe Teague will run out of gas. They're all getting the flag now and hoping for the best. Look out! Curtis Turner's having trouble getting back into the race. Teague's pit crew is excited with victory in sight. And number 6 still has gasoline. Teague gets out of his groove but keeps going. Only 2 more miles. Down the final stretch, Teague passes another. He can almost coast in now. Here he comes toward the finish line. He gets the checkered flag and wins. He's gone 150 miles at an average of 84.65 miles an hour on 1 tank full of gas. But the needle shows empty right now. Here comes Herb Thomas in another Teague car. Thomas is second, just 21 seconds behind the winner, and he's done it despite a pit stop for gasoline. Pat Kirkwood, the man who drove fastest in the time trials, is third. And Bonnie Flock has persistently stuck to fourth. Something's wrong. The crowd scatters as Tommy Thompson skids across the finish line. Johnny Bruner, the official starter, has been hit. Just a second. He's not badly hurt. He's okay. There's Tommy. He's not hurt either. And there's his car. Boy, he just made it. The race is over. The crowd runs to see the damage and to see the winner. Teague has run out of gas on an extra lap around the course. And believe me, that was real close. But Marshall Teague has got his winning 1952 Hudson back to the pits now. He's the only 2-time winner of the race. He's made terrific speed despite the almost impassable condition of the turn. And celebrating with him is Herb Thomas, who made it 1-2 for the Teague stable in the NASCAR Stock Car Classic at Daytona Beach, Florida.